Welcome back to our channel. Today we invite you to step across the threshold of time into Iraq, a land whose name instantly conjures images of smoke, conflict, and breaking news headlines. But if you pause for just a moment, a shocking reality unfolds. This isn't just a war-torn nation. It is the absolute cradle where human civilization itself took its very first breaths. As we cross into 2026, Iraq stands at a fascinating crossroads, caught between a glorious past and a deeply scarred present. From bustling street markets where mountains of cash sit unguarded, to conservative societal corners where women navigate strict boundaries, the real Iraq is far more complex than any news broadcast lets on. What does daily life truly look like in this land of contrast today? Join us as we strip away the headlines and explore the raw, unfiltered reality of Iraq in 2026. Baghdad after the war. If you want to see more in-depth stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Your support helps us bring you the real stories from around the world. Is it still dangerous? Our first deep dive brings us directly into the beating, chaotic heart of the nation, the capital city of Baghdad. For generations, this metropolis was synonymous with extreme danger, car bombs, and geopolitical turmoil. But what happens when you actually walk its streets in 2026? Step into the local neighborhoods after dark, and you are immediately hit by a vibrant, almost shocking wave of energy. Traditional tea houses are packed to the brim with locals laughing over games of dominoes. Neon-lit shopping malls are bustling with families, and trendy cafes serve upscale crowds. The city has undeniably reclaimed its rhythm, and residents are fiercely embracing a return to normalcy, even adopting modern global trends like pedal tennis in their local sports complexes. Yet, look just a little closer and the heavy shadow of the past remains unmistakable. Massive concrete blast walls, though slowly being dismantled, still frame certain sectors. Armed checkpoints dot nearly every major intersection, where federal police officers and soldiers clad in full tactical gear, holding assault rifles, keep a watchful eye over the passing traffic. This intense militarized security is the exact reason why Baghdad feels safer than it has in decades, allowing night markets to flourish and open-air public squares to fill with life well past midnight. However, this heavy security apparatus creates a stark paradox. While the local population has adapted to this guarded, heavily policed peace, international travelers remain deeply hesitant. The psychological scars of the past and the lingering threat of sudden instability still hang over the country's image, leaving foreign visitors to wonder if this newfound stability is a permanent reality or just a fragile pause between historical storms. Baghdad today is alive, thriving, and resilient. But it is a city that never completely lowers its guard. Mosul, a city still haunted by ISIS. Leaving the capital behind and traveling north along the Tigris River, we arrive in Mosul, a city that bore the most devastating brunt of recent history. Back in 2014, this historic cultural hub fell under the brutal occupation of ISIS, transforming a diverse community into a landscape of strict violent oppression and eventual ruin. During the intense liberation battles today, walking through the historic old city feels like stepping onto a battlefield frozen in time, offering a sobering look at the true cost of war. Entire city blocks remain completely flattened into hills of gray dust, with bullet-riddled walls, exposed rebar, and collapsed concrete structures serving as grim monuments to heavy airstrikes and intense house-to-house urban warfare. Yet directly amidst these haunting ghost-like ruins, a powerful story of human defiance and resilience is being written every single day. Step by step, the local community is fighting to reclaim its identity from the ashes. If you want to see more stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Major international restoration projects such as UNESCO's initiative to rebuild the iconic Al-Nouri Mosque and ancient Christian churches are slowly breathing cultural life back into the skyline. More importantly, ordinary citizens are returning to their ancestral neighborhoods, clearing heavy debris with their bare hands, setting up small makeshift grocery stalls, and rebuilding their homes brick by brick. Perhaps the most poignant, unforgettable sight in Mosul today is the children. Mosul is still deeply wounded, but it is stubbornly, beautifully coming back to life. Iraqi women and social boundaries. To truly understand the internal social fabric of Iraq in 2026, we must examine the deeply complex and often restrictive daily realities of its female population. In this traditional, predominantly Muslim society, conservative patriarchal norms and religious traditions continue to dictate almost every aspect of a woman's public life. If you walk down the crowded commercial avenues of Baghdad or the southern provinces like Basra, you will immediately notice a striking demographic disparity. There's a visible, overwhelming absence of women in public spaces. From the bustling open-air markets to the sidewalk cafes, the public sphere remains almost entirely dominated by men. For many Iraqi women, strict societal expectations mean staying close to the domestic sphere or traveling only with male relatives. Walking alone, driving a vehicle, or sitting openly in a restaurant can still invite heavy social judgment or street harassment in conservative neighborhoods. In fact, even attending a public soccer stadium to cheer on the national team can cause a young woman to be labeled as improper by traditionalists. However, this social landscape is far from uniform across the map, revealing deep regional fractures. If we journey north into the autonomous Kurdistan region, the contrast is incredibly sharp. In cities like Erbil and Suleimania, women enjoy significantly higher degrees of personal freedom. They are a constant presence in universities, frequently drive cars, manage corporate offices, and walk through modern downtown areas without facing rigid societal scrutiny. Even within Baghdad itself, a quiet generational shift is beginning to take root. A growing movement of young educated female entrepreneurs, artists, and digital creators are using social media to carve out independent spaces, slowly expanding their footprint in higher education and professional industries. Change comes agonizingly slow in a society shaped by centuries of tradition and decades of conflict. But the women of Iraq are quietly, persistently redefining what is possible for their future. Lesser-known entertainment districts and hidden realities. As the blazing daytime sun finally sets over the historic Tigris River, a completely unexpected and deeply secretive side of Iraqi society slowly emerges from the shadows, one that international news channels completely ignore. Have you ever wondered what lies behind the heavy velvet curtains of Baghdad's night scene when the religious restrictions of the day fade away? In select upscale neighborhoods like Karada and Arasat, a booming neon-lit underbelly of secretive lounges, hidden bars, and late-night social clubs comes alive. Inside these soundproofed venues, the strict Islamic codes that govern public life seem to instantly blur under the flash of strobe lights, aromatic clouds of shisha, and the rhythm of loud Arabic pop. However, this hidden entertainment sector is far from just a place for celebration. It reveals a profound and honestly uncomfortable socioeconomic crisis. Following decades of relentless war, displacement, and the loss of male breadwinners, severe financial desperation has forced a vulnerable segment of the female population into these highly sensitive, socially taboo, and legally gray industries. This creates an intense social paradox. In 2026, while the government enforces strict conservative laws on paper, the transactional realities of the post-war economy allow this underground nightlife to thrive out of pure survival necessity. It's a world of flashing lights and hidden identities, exposing the deep psychological fractures of a nation trying to balance religious purity with the harsh, unspoken demands of modern urban survival. The mountains of cash, Iraq's unbelievable money markets. Have you ever tried to visualize what a multi-billion-dollar economy looks like when it completely rejects digital banking, credit cards, and electronic wire transfers? To witness this mind-boggling reality firsthand, one only needs to step into the chaotic, high-stakes arenas of the Al-Qia and Al-Harithia money markets in Baghdad. But why does Iraq in 2026 still rely so heavily on physical paper money to run its entire society? The root cause is a deep-seated generational trauma and absolute distrust of the formal banking system. Decades of sudden government collapses, crippling international sanctions, rampant political corruption, and the sudden freezing of private bank assets during past conflicts have taught the average Iraqi citizen a brutal lesson. Money is only real if you can physically hold it under your mattress. As a result, commercial banks remain widely ignored, forcing everyone from ordinary street vendors purchasing produce to wealthy real estate moguls buying luxury property to lug around heavy backpacks and cardboard boxes stuffed with cash just to complete basic daily transactions. Kurdistan, a completely different Iraq. Now, prepare to challenge everything you think you know about this region, because crossing a single internal border will make you feel as though you have suddenly traveled to a completely different continent. Welcome to Kurdistan, a highly autonomous region in northern Iraq that completely shatters every single negative wartime stereotype associated with the country. The absolute moment you pass through the tightly controlled internal security checkpoints into thriving cities like Erbil or Suleimania, the visual and cultural transformation is nothing short of breathtaking.
The horizon here is dominated not by bullet-riddled ruins or military checkpoints, but by glittering glass skyscrapers, expansive American-style shopping malls, luxury five-star hotels, and pristine multi-lane highways lined with beautifully manicured green lawns. By leveraging its relative geopolitical isolation and managing its own independent oil revenues, Kurdistan has successfully created a booming oasis of capitalism. If you're enjoying this inside look at Iraq's transformation, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth stories from around the world. Furthermore, the population here possesses a fiercely proud, distinct cultural identity that sets them apart from the rest of the nation. They speak Kurdish rather than Arabic, fly their own sun-crested national flag, and are protected by the Peshmerga, a legendary, highly disciplined military force that famously kept ISIS entirely out of their borders. This seamless blend of Western-style consumerism and absolute public safety stands in staggering bittersweet contrast to the structural struggles and physical devastation still visible in central and southern Iraq, proving that the identity of modern Iraq is profoundly fractured into two completely different worlds, traditional markets and the world of counterfeit goods. But what happens when you step away from the glittering modern malls of Kurdistan and dive straight into the chaotic sensory overload of Iraq's traditional street markets? Welcome to a world where international intellectual property laws seem to completely vanish into thin air. If you stroll through the vibrant alleyways of Sour and Baghdad or the bustling roadside stalls of Suleymania, you will encounter a staggering empire of counterfeit luxury. Here, designer brands are democratized for pennies on the dollar. You can easily purchase a surprisingly convincing Rolex watch for $15, flip through stacks of Gucci wallets, or try on Louis Vuitton jackets where the letters are, just slightly rearranged. The shopkeepers openly admit these goods flow directly from massive manufacturing hubs in China, packaged in replica boxes complete with fake authenticity cards. Yet, these markets offer far more than just cheap fashion. Venture deeper into the winding maze and honestly, the air shifts from the smell of synthetic leather to the loud clucking noise of the live poultry and exotic pet sections. Cages filled with bright white geese, monkeys and falcons line the sidewalks alongside specialized vendors displaying live scorpions and defanged desert snakes that, brave shoppers casually drape around their necks. From hand-carved leather notebooks to raw butcher stalls displaying rows of sheepheads, these markets are a raw, unapologetic theater of Middle Eastern commerce driven by a deeply embedded culture of intense, friendly haggling. Iraqis living with tea and shisha. After navigating the chaotic, dusty maze of the local markets, you will undoubtedly notice a distinct sweet aroma hanging heavily in the Iraqi air. It's a scent that really defines the daily rhythm of life here. To truly understand the social heartbeat of this nation, one must observe how the locals unwind, which brings us directly to the ubiquitous culture of tea and shisha cafes. Spread across every single city block from north to south, these open-air establishments serve as the ultimate community living rooms, almost exclusively populated by men. Hour after hour, groups of friends and business partners gather around small hourglass-shaped glasses called istakhan, sipping incredibly strong, heavily sweetened black tea infused with cardamom. Accompanying this endless stream of tea is the rhythmic bubbling sound of the shisha water pipe. Men sit tightly packed together, inhaling thick clouds of smoke produced by burning fruit-flavored tobacco molasses over red-hot charcoal.